Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's me, Jack Gillett, Lex from Deadly Class, and I'm here with your boy Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio.
This school trains killers to master the deadly arts. It's dedicated to the self-liberation of oppressed people. People like you.
Here at King's Dominion, you survive your way, and I'll survive mine.
The rules are simple. No disobedience, no drugs, and no sex.
That's all you savages think about. You've got dicks on the brain.
Hating what's wrong is easy. I'm gonna do something about it.
Well, let's see what you've got. We're gonna party forever and rule the world.
Have a good weekend, future disruptors of America.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing in for Comic-Con Radio. Coverage of pop culture events from around the globe. Amazing interviews with celebrities. Daily recaps and reviews of popular television. The Walking Dead. Z Nation. Van Helsing. DC Titans. Flash. The Legends of Tomorrow. Black Lightning. American Horror Story. Green Arrow. Movie reviews. Everything Comic-Con and fandom from around the globe. Comic-Con Radio. Get ready to enter our universe. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your boy Galaxy on Comic-Con Radio, and I'm signed in all over the universe. Today, I have a very special guest. I'm bringing everybody from Deadly Class, or as many as I can. This week was the season premiere of Deadly Class for all of you that couldn't see the pilot episode a couple of weeks ago on SYFY. I have an amazing guest today. He goes by the name of Lex, but his true identity is Jack Gillett. Jack, what's up, buddy?
Hey, man, how you doing? It's good to be here.
Thank you for coming out. Thank you for taking our invitation. I know you guys are busy. You got a new show. You're probably being like ripped left and right. So I appreciate you coming on the show.
Oh, thank you very much for having me.
You know, when I saw you on the show, I was like, he reminds me of Constantine so much, the character. But
Yeah.
I've read Deadly Class, so I know what's up.
I mean, Lex is a piece of work, so it's fun to bring him to life.
And you look like such a nice guy in your normal photos and stuff like that. And Lex is like a crazy bomb-making maniac.
Yeah, he is a pyromaniac lunatic. So it's just been a lot of fun to go there and explore the crazy side.
I was so excited when they made Deadly Class into a show. I know you guys filmed these things like a year ago, and it was a while before they actually aired it. And I know SYFY keeps things in, under the table because they have some cool, amazing ideas. But I'm so excited finally it aired.
Oh, I mean, so am I. It's been a mental year of just a lot of hard work from everyone in the whole production team and the actors and writers and everyone. And it's just all come together in, what I think and what everyone else thinks is just such a special project and a great story to tell.
It's an amazing project. It's actually a project that's gotten a huge budget by SYFY, because usually SYFY, with shows like this, they try to keep the budget really lean and they want as much as they can from the producers and the creators. But I know you guys got a little cool, hefty budget. You got Benedict Wong. You got all these other amazing celebs. What did you think when they built all these studios up in Canada? It just transformed to San Francisco.
Oh, I mean, the sets are incredible. You walk into the studio. I remember going in on my first day when we started filming the season and just seeing the whole school there. And you walk in, you see all the classrooms, all the corridors, and you can completely imagine yourself in this school. And the level of detail in all of these sets is absolutely phenomenal.
Siobhan and Luke said the same thing. They were like, when they walked through the halls and they saw the details, they were like, wow, is this real? But I know it's all made just for the show, which is amazing.
Oh, it's incredible. They're just such a talented team.
Now, you are from the United Kingdom originally.
Actually, I'm half Canadian, half English, and I moved over to Canada about a year and a half ago.
Nice. That's really cool. So how did it feel growing up in the UK? Was acting on your radar as a youth?
Not actually. I mean, I grew up in the countryside there in a tiny little village, and I went off to boarding school when I was there. We had a big theatre there, so I did all the school plays and musicals and stuff, and I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun, but for the most part of school, I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to fly planes.
Did you kind of make that dream come true?
Well, I was lucky enough to get halfway through my private pilot's license at school, and I took a glider solo and I took a powered aircraft solo. But at the end of school, my grades weren't particularly good. So my dad said to me, you know what, you should try acting now, because you've got all your life to train to be a pilot. You've only got now to try and be an actor. And I think if you don't do it, you'll regret it for the rest of your life, which is the best piece of advice I think anyone's ever given me.
What a cool dad. Usually dads are like, no, go become something else and never become an actor.
Yeah, I know. I was expecting that. But no, my dad was very supportive, and my mother as well. And they've just been so supportive ever since. They're the best.
That's absolutely cool to have supporting parents and family. So when you got this gig on Deadly Class, were they the first people you like ran to and told?
They were the first people I phoned and told. I was working at a restaurant at the time, and I was serving a table. I felt my phone ringing in my pocket, and I just sort of had this feeling in my gut that it was something good. And then I looked at the phone, and it was my agent, and I ran out of the restaurant and immediately took the phone call, and she told me I got the part, and then ran back into the restaurant and told everyone there, all my friends who were working there. And then I phoned my parents. It was very exciting.
In every episode that I do, in every show, in every live show, any interview, I always give props to Canada. You know, people don't give enough props to Canada. It's because of Canada all these superhero shows are doing amazing. It's because of Canada's teams that we can have Deadly Class and we can have Arrow and Van Helsing and so forth and so forth. And a lot of DC, a lot of Marvel, a lot of these shows are filmed in Canada. And you coming from Canada, has there been like a big widespread thing of now everybody in Canada can make it?
Oh, I definitely think so. I mean, we're so lucky on the Deadly Class to have a large Canadian representation. A lot of the main characters are Canadian. Hopefully, I hope that'll inspire a lot of Canadian actors to really go out there and reach for it and know that they can do it.
Big time. Vancouver, Toronto, Calgary, all these cities have
everywhere,
yeah, they have amazing sets and they're doing amazing stuff. Like every major big show that's in our fandom universe is filmed there, and it's really cool, and I really appreciate it. And big ups to Canada. Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, big up to Canada.
That's right, buddy? So, you know, growing up, you wanted to be a pilot and you went to a private school. When you got Deadly Class, you know, Deadly Class, a private school, were you like, I know what a private school is all about? Did that kind of help with the transitioning of that character?
Well, I guess King's Dominion is a very different academy to pretty much every single one on the planet. The principles of, I guess, the social structure of a school are similar. So, yeah, I definitely drew upon that. Although Lex, to be honest, probably wouldn't be at home at any of those schools.
He wouldn't be, because he would be an outcast?
Outcast, and he's very anti-establishment and sort of down with the man.
I hear it in your voice. When you just said down with the man, I was like, yeah, that sounds like Lex right there.
Oh, yeah, I mean, you could have a conversation with Lex. He'd start coming out and talking like this if you wanted to.
There you go, buddy. That sounds cool. Did you get a chance to go to Comic-Con?
Unfortunately, I didn't. I've always wanted to go to Comic-Con, but I didn't go down with them. Hopefully in the future, though, I'll go down.
You guys are going to go this summer coming up. We'll see you there. I know they're going to have you guys come out because this show came out kicking and punching. You guys got some great cast members, the whole entire team. Everybody just fits so perfect to the comic book. It's just a perfect situation. And that's why I think they took 8 to 10 months to do callbacks and stuff like that, because they probably chose it so perfectly. And you had Rick Remender on set as your encyclopedia. How did that feel?
Oh, I mean, I guess not a lot of projects. You actually have the creator of the source material and the mind where it's all come out of to be there pretty much every day to go, any question you have, he'll just be able to rattle it off, being like, is this quite punk? Is this feel right? It was a dream, and feel very privileged to have had him there as a showrunner.
That's pretty cool. You know, the 80s retro and 90s styles are coming back huge. You go to LA, go around Hollywood, everybody's trending like the 80s, the retro scene. This show is so perfectly released because that 80s look and 90s look is so huge, and this show is based on the 80s. How does that feel? Do you like the 80s? Was it something that you were like, wow, it's exciting?
Oh, definitely. I mean, especially the punk scene, which is I did a lot of research in, and my dad was he listened to a lot of British punk when he was younger, so I questioned him a lot about it. But the whole subculture and all of these sort of different groups that just represent everyone's sort of individual style, and that sense of belonging in your subculture, I hope that Deadly Class brings a revival to that, and it gives a lot of people who didn't feel like their style was represented in the modern day to have a voice and to go, actually no, I am this person and I am this style and I dress this way, so I'm going to do that.
That's so great that you understand this. You know, you're young, their whole cast, you're all youngsters, but you guys are very intelligent. You know, I've spoken to most of you guys and I've interviewed you guys, and very intelligent the way you guys speak and articulate, and this is such a smart selection with you guys, and I think it needs someone pretty smart and articulate to carry these parts, because you guys are going back in time. It's a school setting. It's a very different type of Gotham-y type of show. When you were there with Benedict Wong, how did that feel? Were you a fan of his?
Oh, completely. I mean, the first time I saw him, I couldn't really get my words out. I was fanboying completely. And it was cool because he's British as well. There was another British person on the cast. It was fantastic. I mean, very, very honoured to have him as Master Lin and the leader of King's Dominion. He's just been an inspiration every time I see him on set, and even in the script reads, he just brings so much life, and I'm just transfixed watching him. So it's been an absolute joy.
That's pretty amazing. And it's probably fun for him to work with such a young, amazing, rising cast, because here's the thing. You guys are rising stars, and from here it's only one way, and it's up. And you have a perfect stone you're stepping on, because the fandom, the Comic-Con, this superhero world that we're part of for such a long time, the fans are loving, they're supporting, and they don't ever let you go. And I always tell everyone, if you want to eat forever, work in a superhero or fandom show, because they'll never forget you. You'll be in conventions all your life. How does that feel that you have a step into this such a crazy universe?
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. Just for my career anyway. Hopefully, I came out of drama school a year and a half ago, and the pilot was my first job. And it's to have such a amazing launching platform to hopefully continue to go in this direction is amazing. And I thank the fans so much. They're all amazing. All of them love the show, and we love them too. And it wouldn't be as popular as it is without them. So thank you, all of you.
Man, you never know what's next. Do you like the fandom world? Is it something you want to get into, or you want to get into other things as well?
I love the fandom world. I've always been a fan of comic books and the comic world myself. But I mean, I'm just excited to see where the wind takes me. I got my sails unfurled, and hopefully I get blown in the right direction. You
have a very familiar face, that's why. Because a lot of people, when they saw you play in Legends, they thought you were somebody that's been acting for many, many years. Your face looks like, oh, I've seen him here, I've seen him there. You think that got you into the role of Declan on Legends of Tomorrow? Oh, Declan was a lot of fun. That was a great other punk to play. And it was a lot of fun being on Legends as well. Such a very popular, well-established show. In the DC universe as well, being in there and working with incredible people like Brandon Ruth as well, who is an incredibly talented and hilarious man. And it was just an incredible experience as well. That was a really cool episode. It was basically back in 77, so it's kind of crazy that you played like a punk type of character in that episode and all of a sudden jumped into Deadly Class. It's pretty wild, right? It's like boggles my mind. Trust me, it's boggled my mind as well. Because I'm like, how did he played a punk there, then now he's playing the punk here, but Deadly Class, of course, is much different. But, like, you played that role really well. That episode was one of my favorite episodes of the season. We support Legends tremendously, and I was like, wow, that's cool. And I know you're very new at this. Like you said, you just graduated a year and a half ago, and to get into that part and then get into Deadly Class, it's really amazing. That's very kind of you to say that, but I don't know. I'm not too sure. I feel like tricky, right? Tricky question there. I'm trying to formulate my words. It's all good. Because we did the pilot before Legends of Tomorrow. Legends was in between the pilot and the first season. So it may have been that I got the role on Legends because of doing the pilot before, or other way around. I'm not too sure. But just the energy of both characters and the just their sort of fiery quality and their high energy was something that I feel very at home in.
So I don't know. Hopefully it was something to do with that.
Maybe one of the Comic-Con fairies saw you play and they were like, okay, we got to put this guy into a role similar because he looks perfect for it. You fit Lex perfect. It's just like it belongs to you. You know, what makes me sad is because I am a fan of the comics and so is our entire team here, is that, you know, in the comics, Lex gets shot. And this is spoiler alert, ladies and gentlemen. You're listening to it. But, you know, let me tell you guys this. TV shows, if they followed comics all the way, it would get ruined. Like The Walking Dead or this or that. So I know in the comics, you get shot in the face because you're helping Willie and you're helping a couple other people. I hope that doesn't happen in the TV show. And I don't think it will because you're such a perfect part of the cast.
No, that's very kind of you. And I mean, you'll just have to wait and find out.
I know, right? They're just going to have to wait. It's a nail-biting situation because you were the savior of that episode in the comic. And the second you went around the corner, they shot you in the face in the comics because you were going against the El Diablo cartel. So I love the names. The names are so cool of all these different crazy stuff there. It's just wicked. How do you like the names of everything? It's just so cool.
Oh, it's incredible. I mean, it's so original and imaginative, and Rick's a genius. Rick's just an absolute genius.
He is. He's an amazing genius. This is such a cool comic book coming to life. What else does a artist like him needs, you know? And I know he's a huge fan of a few of the actors there. For him, it's a dream as well, I heard, because he gets his star actors to play the roles he's created on pencil. Now, when you came on the set the first day and you got into the outfit of Lex, did you say, OMG, I'm on a set playing a character on a TV show? What's the thoughts that go through your mind when you're in that moment?
I was just sort of waiting every minute to wake up, and it's all been a dream. But as soon as I put the costume on, that was the big thing. I get in the hair and makeup, get the tats on, put the costume on, and just sort of looked in the mirror. I go, oh, there's Lex. There he is. And just feel him come to life. And it was just exciting. But, I mean, it all felt like a dream. It's all been a dream to me. Just pinching myself every day.
It is, right? I can only imagine how good it feels when you're on set and you worked hard for that moment and then they're like, action, and you're like, boom, 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 and it's done. You're like, OMG. And it's nerve-wracking. Like, you know, Hollywood is not what everybody thinks it is. You know, acting, it's like nerve-wracking, then being nerve-wracking, then being more nerve-wracking, and you don't even know what the hell's going on. I know you sign contracts, but everything's so up in the air, and that's another trait that I really appreciate in all of you, because it takes patience and it takes heart to wait and see what's going to happen. Is that something you're getting adjusted to?
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think the patience thing is big. But as long as I can get the script and bring the character to life and perform it well the way everyone wants it, then I'm happy.
No, you're doing great, man. The first episode was amazing. I've seen a couple of more episodes. I'm not going to get into it. I don't want to spoil anything for anyone. But if people don't watch this show, they're crazy because it's so cool. People in their late 30s and early 40s, it reminds them of the 80s. Comic book fans, it reminds them of Rick's work. The characters are amazing. Your crew is like a piece of every part of the 80s. You being a punk, so-and-so being this, the outcast, the nerd, the cheerleader type of girl. And it's really great. How do you guys react with each other on set?
It's fire. It really is. I mean, that's what has, I think, made it so special for me, is that everyone is just great friends and everyone is connected with each other, and it's just a fantastic ensemble. I heard someone say the other day that there's no competition. Everyone knows their place in the story and knows that they're vital to the telling of the story. And we just all sort of spark off each other, and it's electric. And the ensemble is just sort of what makes it for me personally, and hopefully for everyone else, is the main thing. Yeah.
When you told your dad you're working with Henry Rollins, did he kind of geek out?
Oh, yeah, a little bit, yeah. We used to watch him. He presented a TV show in the UK. I can't remember what it was called. It sort of put three teams together that all have built their own vehicle and puts it through their tests. And my dad's an engineer, so we always used to watch that as a kid. And Henry Rollins was the presenter of that. And so when I told him that he was going to be on Deadly Class, we sort of had a little freak out with each other, yeah.
He was freaked out, huh? That's called Full Metal Challenge, right? That TV show?
Full Metal Challenge. That's exactly the one. Oh, my word. I've been trying to rack my brain. Remember that. Full Metal Challenge.
You owe me $1.
I do.
You know, I'm an encyclopedia of television. You know, I have to be with all these things. And yeah, Henry Rollins is really cool. And I know his music's inspired a lot. And when you said your dad loves that stuff and he was into it when he was growing up, he was probably like, OMG. This guy's on the show. And even Benedict Wong and even some of your younger classmates or co-stars on the TV show. Every Deadly Class member is unique, right? And then you guys in real life are unique from different countries, different backgrounds. And I think that's what really helped everything just mesh so well. When you're on set, is there anybody that's a crazy jokester?
Oh, we will sort of have fun with each other, but I mean, I know Ben and I try and have a few jokes now and again.
So you and Ben are the jokesters of the cast.
Oh, and of course Liam as well. Liam's got a fantastic sense of humor.
I've heard that. Everybody I've spoken to says Liam, but I was like, okay, excluding Liam, because even on the show, he's like that, right? You could only expect that. Is character acting something that really intrigues you?
Oh, completely. For me, it's all about the character. I studied at LAMDA in London with Sean Deppner, actually. Sean Deppner and I graduated the same year and met each other at the recall of the Deadly Class. But character acting, for me, is my passion. I love it. And to be able to hopefully transform into someone completely different, unrecognizable from yourself is the end goal.
When you were in acting school, you probably had a lot of classmates and they were all wanting to be actors and get into Hollywood. How does it feel that you've made it on such an amazing show? Does any of your old classmates ever hit you up and like, OMG, you made it?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's been fantastic. My year in drama school were all incredibly talented, and some of them are doing fantastically well as well, and we're all been quite successful. We still stay close and update each other with what we're doing, and we're all very happy for each other.
You're a very humble dude. I love your answers, man. You're very humble. Whenever I ask you a question, you talk about the whole group. You talk about everyone else. You want everyone else to do well. You're very seasoned. And your answers are amazing. And, you know, let me tell you something. The fans pick that up. They pick it up in the way you speak, the way you act. And I love your pictures on your website. You look like such an innocent guy. But when you look at Lex, he's like a crazy-ass person. You play that so well. So that's why I asked, you know, if you want to be a character actor, because you play that role so well. Are you afraid because in Legends you played that, you know, that outcast punk, and in Deadly Class you're an outcast punk that's a murderer, makes bombs and wants to kill everyone. Are you afraid you might be typecast as that or no?
Oh, no. I mean, I'm having a lot of fun doing it now, so if there are other British punks, bring them on. But I'm just happy to be working.
That's cool, man. That's so good to hear. We're you know, we support you guys. You guys are so amazing. And I'm so happy that people like Greg Berlanti, Rick Remender, and all these other people are giving young actors and actresses chances, whether it's with a new superhero show or whatever they're doing. But I think 30% of television is going to change into TV shows like this, because that's where our world's going into. Everybody grew up with comic books and all these stuff, and that's what we want to see. The world wants to escape, and your show is like an escape from the world. You know, there's harsh times, there's crazy things going on, but you guys took it back to the 80s and are bringing a time where everybody like had fun. It was uniqueness, crazy hair, and all sorts of things like that. How many seasons do you think the show's going to go? I have my number. I said 6, but what do you think?
Oh, I hope it goes on for as many seasons as we can.
That's it. That's
just
your answer, man.
Endless amount of Deadly Class. Never ending Deadly Class.
That's it, man.
It's never going to end. We're going to do it forever.
That's it. Do it forever. Hey, look at Walking Dead, right? It's going to be forever. And when it does stop, they're going to make 100 movies and all sorts of things. I remember when we first covered Walking Dead, and I was like, this show is going to make it. And look, they're 10 years in. And Deadly Class, I have that feeling. Everyone's used to sci-fi, kind of like canning shows after 4 seasons, maybe 5 seasons. It's like pushing it. But I think with your cast and everybody with it and how you guys are going to be growing your fans, it's going to be going for a long, long, long time. Are you excited that this is just the beginning and you're going to be like such a big star in the years to come?
Oh, well, that's very kind of you to say. Oh, I'm overly excited. Every day I wake up just going, oh, mad. This is my life now. Hopefully I can make it last. But it's incredibly exciting. It's a dream come true.
Man, like I said, you have that look where you can be a chameleon, and you can't say that about everybody. You know, some people are typecast into a certain role because of their height, size, muscular, definition, things like that. But I think you're a chameleon, and I think you could play many roles. Is there any projects coming up that you can share? I know you guys have a lot of secrets and you can't share everything, and I won't pressure you because I pressure a lot of people. Is there any cool projects coming up for you?
I mean, there are a couple things, but who knows? I can't divulge into any detail.
You can't share it out. I know. I always ask that. I want to hear when a guest goes, I'm like, okay, he can't talk about it.
We'll just have to wait and see.
That's it, man. I want to ask you a very important thing, right? And when you're on set on the TV show, and I know you had your OMG moments, I know you share things with your family and your family supports you. Has there been any time of nervousness when you're on set where you're like, oh my God, I don't want this to end?
Oh God, I mean, every day, I mean, never want it to end. Working on this show has never been a negative experience. The whole thing has been positive all the way through. And I mean, if we have to get up at 3:00 in the morning or have to be there at 3 PM and work through the night, I mean, I don't care. I'm just happy to be there in the character, in the place where the character lives, doing things that the character does. And I never wanted it to end.
That's really cool to hear. I really like that. That's very honest. And I know it gets nerve-wracking. I like to bring up the reality parts of this world because it's tough. And I feel for a lot of actors because it's nerve-wracking. And this is your life. It's your career. And I know you're entertaining the fans out there. And us as fans, we sit here and we watch you. But, God only knows what goes through your mind. Do you take a lot of preparation for these parts? Do you sit there mentally and you're like, okay, Jackie boy, let's get this going? What do you do to prepare for a role?
Oh, I mean, that's a big question. I mean, my process definitely starts with the physicality. I work very physically with my characters. I love finding their body and finding how their body differs from mine, how they walk, how their clothes inform how they walk. Like the boots I was wearing were very different to shoes that I wear in my normal life, and I would walk very differently in Lex's boots. And then looking at the text and seeing the words that Lex chooses and the way he talks and the way he responds to questions as a person, and just sort of sitting on that and mulling it over in my head and seeing where that takes me. It was just a very exciting, incredible process to discover Lex.
That's really cool. Discovering the character you're playing, it's amazing. And, when you first get cast for a TV show, I know you have to fill the shoes of the character. But I know as the seasons go by, season 2 and 3, they start writing based on you. Now, I know you and Lex are totally different, but is there a little bit of Jack inside of Lex, or do you use some of Lex's stuff in real life now that you know that character?
Oh, yeah, no. I definitely think there's a little bit of me in Lex, and I hope there's a little bit of me in all my characters, sort of like the signature at the bottom of the painting. And I try to learn from each of my characters. I like to learn something about myself. And from Lex, it really was the just not caring and just being who you are and just not caring what people say about that. And just to go, look, this is me. This is how I dress. This is what I like to do. This is the music that I listen to. And I'm happy with that. Everyone else, if you have a problem, well, that's your problem.
That's really cool. Have you seen your fan base change once Deadly Class launched?
Oh, I mean, someone sent me some fan art on Instagram of Lex and Petra, which is the first time that's sort of ever happened to me, that someone had drawn one of my characters because they liked it, and which was amazing, utterly amazing to see that. And everyone's just been so supportive. I've had lots of lovely messages from people being like, oh, I love Lex, I love you as a character, and it's just blown my mind, actually, to see all of that. And very, very humbling.
Did you know this is just the beginning? It's like you're going to get thousands of those as the season goes by and as the whole world kind of fits in to Deadly Class. And you get these fans that pick their character, and they're just die hard for that. And, you know, you'll get your action figures, and then you're going to go do your signings, and you're going to do all that stuff, and you're going to sit down and you're going to be like, OMG, where am I at? Who am I? Are you preparing yourself for that, man?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I hope that happens, but definitely I've been preparing. And I mean, we all talk about it as a cast and go, wow, what's going to happen if this takes off? And sort of having to stick together and support each other. I mean, it's going to be a wild ride.
It's going to be an amazing ride, Jack. You're going to do great. It's going to be so awesome. You're going to, you know, grow sky high. But remember one thing, stay humble, stay sharp, stay the way you are, because the fans notice it and they'll love you for that. And I'm telling you, if it wasn't for the fans, I've been doing this 2 decades. If it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't have anything. It's the fans that create us and make the characters shine and all that. And I know you're going to do so great, and it's sky high from here. Now, if your fans want to reach you,
my Instagram is @thejackgillett, and that's the same for Twitter as well.
And then you also have jackgillett.com.
Yeah, jackggillett.com, which is my website.
Awesome. And they can check your bio, your photos. You have a blog there. They could get to know you. Is there anything you want to say to the fans before we head out?
Oh, I just want to say thank you so much for all your support. It's only just the beginning of Deadly Class, and just stay tuned for the madness that's to come. And thank you very much. I mean, you're all, each one and every one of you is so special, and I just love you all. Thank you.
Very nice of you to say that. And I didn't want to press you into too many different things because just one episode passed, so I can't really get into the next episodes or anything like that. And I don't want to ruin it for everyone because we are fans of the comic book and we know what's up. So that's why I just wanted people to know who you are, how you think, how you feel, how you speak, because it's very important. Because every time they watch you on Deadly Class, they're going to remember this conversation and they're going to be like, wow, that's a cool dude. I got to hear him real and straight up. And you know, we wish you the best, Jack, and we want you to be the best and to grow. And hopefully next time you come here, we'll have like tons of episodes to talk about, and we'll see what happens from then on. So I appreciate you coming out. Thank you so much. And now we're going to do the exit of the show. You can reach Jack on his social media. That's @JackGillett. That's @JackGillett on Twitter and Instagram, or you can go to jackggillett.com, and that's his website where you can find all his information, his blog, bio, and everything like that. Check out Jack on Deadly Class. Jack, thank you so much for coming out. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening.
Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, you're wonderful. This is Galaxy with Jack on Comic-Con Radio. We're signing out. And Jack, we're going to give 1,000,000 kisses to everybody. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Mwah.
Mwah.
There you go, ladies. Take those and put them in your pocket. Have a lovely day. Love you all in the universe. And thank you for listening. Had a wonderful time. Love you guys. Peace.
You satisfied with your life? What if I told you there's a home for people like you? A school where you'll be surrounded by your peers.
Hi, I am Lana Condor. This is Deadly Class, and welcome to King's Dominion.
Deadly Class is about a high school for assassins set in the Reagan mid-'80s.
We've been hearing about Rick's book for a few years. The artwork is incredible. It's one of the more twisted coming-of-age stories we've ever read. So, first time we read the book, we were blown away. It's why we're standing here working on the show.
After school today, one of you's gonna die.
Deadly Class is a story of a street kid, an orphan, who has a very tragic past. He gets approached by a mysterious collection of characters who belong to a school for assassins.
I'm offering you a chance to harness that fire inside you, to master the deadly arts.
Not to be a dick, but what do you have to lose?
Nothing. We first meet Marcus on the streets. He's kind of like a rabid dog. He has a lot of love, but he also has a lot of hate in his heart. Hating what's wrong is easy. I'm gonna do something about it.
first year will follow his training as a new assassin.
You've got the thing this place is supposed to nurture, and they all see it. And that's why they'll try and destroy you.
So there's things that I can't do in a comic. There's things that just don't fit. I only have 20 pages. And what we were able to do here is take what's in there and unpack all of the characters and the story elements and get a wider look at optics on the story and the characters in a way that we weren't able to in the book.
There's nothing sweet about us. We get to really feel the person behind the role, and that's priceless.
Dude, what's your problem?
Punk-ass bitches is my problem. The cool thing about Willie is he's a badass, and I ain't no bitch like Chico. Get in the damn car.
Do you have any idea where you are?
SYFY is the most athletic and deadly character in the entire series, with the exception of Master Lin.
As soon as they put on the tattoos and the hair and everything, you can't help but feel badass. Her weapon of choice is her katana. It's a massive blade, and the actual weapon itself is very heavy. And then she's just slicing it around, and it looks really amazing. And I can't wait to use it more throughout the show.
Some rep you got.
We have Maria, part of the Mexican cartel, and her combat is fluid, it's beautiful, and it's dangerous.
I love this outfit.
It actually makes me feel very powerful.
This isn't as sexy as I imagined. Safe word.
The class clown would definitely be Billy.
A mousetrap? I get it.
Even though it's a heightened world, we're really kind of digging into what it is to be a teenager in 1987.
Who listens to a Walkman at a party?
This is an authentic snapshot of Generation X, of the kids that I grew up with in the underground and the subculture. But it's also an authentic snapshot of just teenage existence.
White Snake, Banana Bloody Rama and Def Leppard. Sweet little teasers.
Deadly Class pulls no punches in its ability to shock.
People might see some things that are happening now, things being politicized and weaponized at almost every single level.
So you want us enough Reagan?
Yeah, he killed my parents.
Changing the world is hippie bullshit.
All the action is born out of character. None of it is salacious. None of it's for spectacle. It's all very cool to look at, but contextually, you will care if somebody involved in a dangerous situation comes out of it scathed or unscathed.
Take a road trip.
A road trip?
To kill my dad. My mom, my brother, they're not gonna survive it.
It has the actions that everyone loves, but there's also a lot of heart and character and relatability.
The best part of filming so far, I think, is just being with my friends. I mean, the whole cast is amazing, and we all got really close.
The cast is incredible. I just think there's nothing like it on television. Our job is to be innovative and disruptive, and we're looking for fresh stories to tell, stories that are surprising to people. I think people are going to be really surprised by the show.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Galaxy signing out from another amazing episode of Comic-Con Radio. Tune in for your daily shows of Comic-Con Radio. Go to comiccon-radio.com. Reach us on social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, at Comic-Con Radio. You can call us toll-free right now. 800-976-0305. 800-976-0305. Comic-Con Radio, taking the world one listener at a time.